Oh no, dude, somebody dropped a pool right on the edge of it. I'm gonna kill everybody.
Fuck, yeah. You put me in horny jail, dude.
It's just the two of us. Focus your eyes on me.
Today, we're not failing any more simp checks like MOKOKO, man, and we're going to use our W key energy to send VYKAS back to whatever tentacle monster she came from. Just like your comments always send me to my happy place, I want to thank you all again because it really does make my day, and I'm sorry for being missing for about 2 weeks. But my recording kind of turned out in this like static thing, so it took me a while to end up actually fixing my computer. And someone needed all the attention, and she kind of deserves it, honestly. Mochi is the newest addition to the family, and I'm pretty sure I'm her pet at this point. But as per usual with the speed run for dummies guides, I'm going to run down the easiest and best way to beat most of the mechanics that pugs fail at, so you really don't have to suck at them anymore, and you can avoid the people that can't do it and aren't worth doing with anyways. Because honestly, after I crafted my 6-piece nightmare set after beating her for the 3rd time on hard mode, I've been so much stronger, and I can't wait to go into week 4 with this much power. Finishing that 6-piece is such an insane boost, and I just want to help more people get there. But I'm also going to do an update in like 2 weeks when I can free swap my gear when I get the 55 pieces for the min-max set combos for Berserker while we wait for Clown, because a lot of people keep asking about the 2 and 4 set combos you can do, so I'll just break them all down when I can. And I'm going to clear the air about Berserker's technique because so many people are inting their builds, but that's for another time. For now, all you need to know is, my name is Claysthetics, and we're running right into it. And don't forget to like the video. It's the only way YouTube knows I exist. And lighting this off, we're going to turn our W key energy into raw power. And after that, we're going to watch my second hard mode gate 3 kill and just talk a bit about it, because there's a lot of common mistakes I think most people would make the second time they did the boss, because I didn't really know how to deal with a bunch of this stuff until I looked into it a bit more. And starting with Medusa, and this one kills me, bro. If the group says you're going to time stop it, just leave. They're lazy and bad. The easiest way to do this: for the first cast, party 1. For the second cast, party 2. Party 1, member 1 and 2, deal with the first one. No wings, no one looks, no big deal. The second cast, party 2, member 1 and 2, deal with it. So just as an example, 1 wing, party 1, member 1 looks. 2 wings, party 2, members 1 and 2 look. That's it. That's the whole thing. I can't even believe this is even an option to time stop this. It's absolutely insane, bro. Like, if you have to, go get some help. Now for the second most important part and the main group killer, tentacles. Just pregame them. It's really not a big deal. There's always a pool drop before 55 unless you're in like a group that's just skipping every mechanic. But if you are skipping every mechanic, just wait for that pool drop and get your charm bar between like the halfway mark, you know, like 2 ticks, because even your slow boys can get an ability or 2 off like this before the orbs even get to them, and then you just dodge the balls until the phase ends. It just makes it an absolute joke unless somebody gets hit by every skill the boss casts after they up their charm meter. So if you're in a group where people are getting MC'd because they're getting hit too much, then you're not clearing anyways. But finally, and most importantly, the end of the fight stagger check. And I can't believe this still needs to be said, but you go to the middle and you look away from the boss in the middle, and then you stack up and wait for the black pools to spawn. They reset your charm gauge. There's people that sprint over to the boss with like half a bar of charm, and you're just like, what are you doing, bro? Stack up, walk with the pools to the back of the boss, reset your charm gauge, and then you just blast the boss. Because if you get multiple walkout phases to dodge lasers, you actually do need to do this or you're all going to get MC'd. So that's all the big ones in my opinion that I see massive problems with, that I still see people make mistakes with, and I just explain them in the most smooth-brained way possible. And now I'm just going to play my no support run, and though I don't count my red warlord as a support, but he was a gamer, and it's a good showcase of my second time doing the fight, because it only took about I think this took under an hour. That's what the VOD was. It was like a 35-minute VOD for my second kill, and we had a few learning boys, but the mistakes I make in this one I think are pretty normal while you're still getting used to the fight and her animations. And I would have loved to have done my first time one because it was like a solid just 4-hour mess, but it got corrupted with that weird static thing. I finally fixed it. I just had to redo my computer to do it. But I think the only reason my first clear took like 4 hours was because I had such a good raid leader. Maluxa G actually just like handheld us through it. It was absolutely just the best. And because I already went over all the big mechanics that pugs fail regularly, even on normal, which is absolutely crazy. If you do end up needing a big guide, other people have really good guides for like all the big stuff, but like all the big stuff is all the easiest parts of the fight in my opinion. And I really just know how to W key through all of it, because turning your brain off is the most efficient way to play Lost Ark. But I use this text guide. It helps me keep track of the HP bars if I ever forget or whatever. I don't really need it anymore, but when I first started the fight, it actually helped me out a lot. So if people are forgetful, I don't know who made it, but if you know who made it, just like post their name in the comments so I can like pin their channel or whatever in the description or something, because I don't like taking credit for what other people do, but I do like using the other stuff that people make. And I love me some text guides. The only thing that absolutely blows my mind is how people fill their parties over this boss. It's like they just choose to fail in champ select. Like when you don't pick MOKOKO, man, you know your group is going nowhere.
Oh no, dude, somebody dropped the pool right on the edge of it. I'm gonna kill everybody.
Bonk. Yeah. You put me in horny jail, dude.
MOKOKO, man, keeps the people in horny jail. That's really it. But you just have to remember, your best players are parked like between 1475 and like 1500, somewhere in there. And they usually have alts when they're parked there because they're pushing the rest of their account up so they can make a massive push later. And they usually have a way better understanding of the whole game because they're repeatedly playing the whole game multiple times a day, or doing VYKAS 3 to 5 times a week, because that sure is a blast. And don't get me wrong, 1500 is doable right now if you're lucky or only focusing on one character. But that's my cutoff, is 1500. I don't invite anybody above that, and I know that's going to make some people mad or whatever, but I mean, like, I gatekeep too, because I just don't like people wasting my time. And there's no doubt there's a couple juicers above 1500, but it's a very small 1% of them that are actually good. And it just brings me to my point that is just to make sure that you are bringing people with good engravings, tripods, and like perfect stats. Like the stats thing is a big deal because you're so limited on stats. And wasting like even 200 of them is just such a waste. It makes your character so weak. And nobody can really justify some expertise build to me. Somebody did, and they tried to. I had to ask. I was like, "Why you got expertise?" And he's just stop. And the reality of engravings is like one budget engraving isn't bad because sometimes they outperform the meta engravings. Because honestly, most of the time the meta engravings people choose are just ridiculous. But something like heavy armor on anything but Bard really means that you don't have any intention of learning the mechanics and only know how to stand and stuff. And guess what? In Gate 3, you can't really stand in everything, and that's why so many of these guys are still doing normal mode. But it is really hilarious to see party leaders kick people that are like 1460 for like 1510 plus. I've been in a party, dude, like removed some like 1465 guy for a 1540 player. I just left instantly. I was like, that group's going nowhere. If you're going to disrespect people like that, automatically you already know the party leaders. It's just a bad party leader in general, right? Don't bother with those kind of people. They're not going to help you actually beat it. You know what I mean? Anybody who's kicking people for just higher item level with bad engravings, that's not the group you want to be in. And it might make some whales mad, but considering a lot of you guys that are 1540 plus, I've seen doing normal mode, you can cry all you want because I'll see you in 6 to 8 weeks when you're done your set bonuses while I'm free farming hard mode. But honestly, I don't hate whales or that it's pay to win. I just like memeing them because they have the saltiest tears and they usually just absolutely cry the best. So it's really all I'm here for. But I really do want to double down on the fact that if somebody can't be bothered to build their character right, you can't expect them to learn the boss correctly. So they're just not going to be doing well. And I'm not saying you need a 5x3 Omega build, because my group was like 1460, mostly with orange accessories at like 4x3, and we beat it for the first time, and it wasn't even that bad. The enrage timers on all 3 of the phases are pretty lenient at 1460 if you have like a half decent group. But honestly, I think you're kind of bad if you just need to gear check it. Like, sure, it speeds it up, but everything happens at certain HP bars, so you get stuck doing the same mechanics as everybody else anyways. So if you want true gamers, really, they just need to have good skins, because anyone who looks good is just better. That's the reality. You get max mental and like triple damage for just being MOKOKO, man. Honestly, that's the real secret. But like the low-key way to like pick and choose some of the like better players, honestly, or like the strongest players that you could possibly have in your party are the gamers with 1 level 5 tripod in each piece for their best skill. And it's like +4, whatever it is. It's hard to explain if you don't actually understand the tripod system. You should go out of your way to like look it up, because it makes your character way stronger. These guys like mine are nuts, right? Like, they're going to stomp almost everyone else because you get like a 100 to 200% damage increase on your skills. And that's actually insane. Like, it's more damage than you're getting anywhere else other than upgrading your gear. So people that took that extra step just to auto paste free level 5s onto their gear and then refill the level 4s are just going to be better than anyone else you can bring. So just look for people with the good tripods on their gear. It's really not that bad. And if you don't know the tripods, go learn the other classes. It's good for you to know everything about the game. I mean, if somebody was too lazy to do that, that just means like you're too lazy to 30% transfer level 3s onto your gear. And if you don't have a million powder sage at this point, you just haven't been playing the game. It's a joke not to be doing this. It's such a massive step for power on your character. It just doesn't make any sense to not do it. And you can resell the pieces when you're done. unless it's on its last buy, but then it's not worth anything anyways. So no more excuses. And especially with that tripod update coming up, I think KR gets on July 27th. I think Saint One tweeted about it a while ago, and we got the last balance patch pretty quick for all the characters, so we might end up with it. So stack your level 5s while you can before it's too late. Oh man. The next meme video, buy your tripods before it's too late on Lost Ark. Is it Dedge? Is it pay to win? Is it RNG? Honestly, sometimes maxing up my Spurg level just takes a lot of energy out of me, but most of you guys laugh at it, so it's always worth it anyways. Bringing a smile to your cute little faces is all I could ask for. But yeah, we were talking about like who to bring to your group. Just don't bother with low tier party leaders. They just don't have the MOKOKO energy you need and deserve to beat the boss. And if they suck, they make bad groups anyway. So like you don't even want to bother with them. If you see good people in the party and you're doing good, you can link up with them. You know, obviously if you're not in Discord with them, it's hard, right? But like you could get in Discord for the 10 minutes it'll take to actually beat Gate 3. And if you're in Discord, odds are you're probably going to have an easier time actually beating it because it's an MMO. It's time to make some friends. And along the way, you pick the good people up you see every week and you can slowly make a group of those guys and you can be in and out in under an hour. I mean, every group I love to get in Discord with, I just think it's honestly kind of more fun to just like talk to the people you're playing with. But I know a lot of people don't feel that way. It's going to be a lot easier for you to fill your groups out if you do actually talk to the people that you're playing with. And I know for a fact that most of you aren't getting content out of bad pug groups for TikToks and other sussy things like a video, like what's rating really like in Lost Ark. You're actually just getting aneurysm, so it's not worth it. Just make some friends, make some homies. And honestly, the first version of that video, it was kind of just bullying, and I don't condone that. It was just me laughing at people learning, and it's not funny to laugh at people that are learning. You don't deserve to be laughed at if you're learning. I mean, you're going to get laughed at if you're learning, but it's okay if it's in private because then you're not hurting anybody's feelings. Like if I made a mistake and wiped the raid and it gets posted, I think it's funny when I fail because I don't care. But some people take it pretty serious, and, you know, I don't want to put anybody out like that. You're just an innocent learning boy. Nobody's trying to be toxic. So that video had to go through a little overhaul, but it's coming in hot very soon and it's going to be fun for everyone because that's what it's all about. So like I just used my last pop before this and I was like, yo, I can probably blast this out. I can probably do pretty good here. It's our turn to like grab me and Divine lock it in this final Medusa. You know, I already told you how easy Medusa is, but I mess up here and I get hit by 2 chains and it rips all my HP. I got no way to recover. Vexus was down. I was like, man, we could beat it with 7. We can't beat it with 6. So I was about to run away. I was shaking in my booties. I was like, oh no. And I realized I was about to die to a bleed. So I had to time stop like right at the end and then pull up because she got countered and just like help finish it off. And it just casted whales perfectly. So they're going to despawn right as she goes to the next phase. So it just ended up working out really nicely. And doing it without a support, I was like, I felt so blessed the first week doing it with a support because I had so much HP the entire time. Like I barely had to pot my first week. I was using like blue pots. This, I just need to use purple because I just needed 7 casts, right? So we stack up and you just wait for these little black pools, walk it out, call it a day. Like, you know, it's just so simple, right? And we just tear it up. It's just so nice. And you just beat it and you feel real good about it. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to have to do a second phase. Honestly, like if you have to do a second phase, come on, you don't have enough stagger. You need a good staggery boy in your group if you're doing that. And you see how I like stayed on the same, I rolled the wrong way, but I stayed on the same line as the homies. I don't want that thing flying off into the middle of nowhere and accidentally like killing somebody right at the end. That would have been a nightmare. So it's all GG's. And I do just want to give an extra thank you to my patrons. You guys are true gamers. The extra support actually does help me out a lot and means a lot to me. So thank you. And just remember, you do get all the guides and kittens first.